You wake up tired, not just physically, mentally, emotionally, deeply exhausted. And what's strange is, sometimes you didn't even do anything difficult. You slept, you stayed home, you tried to rest, yet your brain still feels heavy, foggy, overloaded. Like something inside you never truly powers down, and slowly, this feeling becomes normal. You stop questioning it. You start telling yourself things like, maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I need more motivation. Maybe I'm not disciplined enough. But what if none of that is true? What if the real problem is that your brain was never designed for the world you currently live in? Because modern life is not simply tiring you, it is overstimulating you. Every single day your brain is processing more information than human beings were ever meant to handle. Notifications, messages, emails, videos, advertisements, opinions, endless scrolling, constant noise, and your brain never truly gets a break. Even when your body is resting, your mind is still consuming, still reacting, still processing, still surviving, and eventually it burns out, not in one dramatic moment, but slowly, quietly, until one day you realize you can't focus anymore, you can't enjoy things anymore, you can't stay motivated anymore. Everything feels mentally heavy, and the scariest part, millions of people now live like this every day without understanding what's happening to them. Today on Brain Unlocked, we are diving deep into the hidden psychological reasons why modern humans feel mentally exhausted all the time, and more importantly, how to escape it. For most of human history, life moved slowly. Humans woke up with the sun, worked with their hands, lived in small groups, faced immediate physical problems. Their brains evolved for survival in natural environments. But now, your brain wakes up and instantly enters war mode. Within minutes, it is flooded with stimulation, bright screens, breaking news,
social comparison,
fear, pressure. Your nervous system never fully relaxes anymore, and your brain is constantly switching between tasks. Research shows that every time your attention shifts, your brain burns energy. And modern life forces your attention to shift hundreds of times every day. You check your phone, you answer a message, you open social media, you watch a video, you switch tabs, you scroll, you compare, you consume, again and again and again. Your attention is no longer stable. It has become fragmented, and fragmented attention creates fragmented thinking. That's why people now struggle to sit still, to focus, to read, to think deeply. Even silence feels uncomfortable now, because the brain became addicted to stimulation, and addiction always comes with a cost. The dopamine trap. One of the biggest reasons modern people feel mentally exhausted is dopamine overload. Dopamine is often called the motivation chemical, but dopamine is not really about happiness. It's about anticipation, craving, seeking ... and modern technology has learned how to manipulate it perfectly. Every scroll, every notification, every like, every short video, every surprise, your brain receives tiny dopamine hits constantly. At first, it feels good, exciting, stimulating, but over time, your brain adapts, and this changes everything. Because once the brain becomes used to constant stimulation, normal life starts feeling boring, slow, empty. Reading a book feels difficult. Working on long-term goals feels painful. Silence feels unbearable. And concentration becomes exhausting, not because you're weak, but because your brain has been conditioned to expect instant reward every few seconds. This creates a dangerous cycle. You feel mentally tired, so you seek easy stimulation to escape. But the stimulation itself is what's making your brain more exhausted. So you scroll more, consume more, escape more, and each time, your attention span becomes weaker, until eventually your brain struggles to function without stimulation at all. This is why many people today cannot even sit alone with their own thoughts anymore. The silence feels threatening, not because silence is dangerous, but because their nervous system forgot how to exist without constant input. Every decision costs mental energy. What to wear, what to eat, what to answer, what to watch, what to buy, who to text, what to post, what to think. Your brain is constantly making micro-decisions all day long. And eventually, it becomes exhausted. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. The more decisions you make, the harder it becomes to think clearly. That's why people often make worse decisions late. At night, their mental resources are depleted. Modern life forces humans to make more decisions in a single day than many ancient humans made in weeks. And social media makes this even worse, because now your brain is not only managing your own life, it is also processing the lives of thousands of other people. Their success, their beauty, their opinions, their achievements, their lifestyles. Your brain is overloaded with comparison. And comparison silently destroys mental peace, because no matter how well you're doing, someone online always appears to be doing better, richer, happier, more attractive, more successful. And your brain absorbs this information emotionally. Even when you logically know social media is fake, this creates constant subconscious pressure, and pressure creates exhaustion. Have you noticed something strange? People now rest for hours, yet still feel mentally drained. Why? Because most modern rest is not actually rest. Scrolling is not rest. Binge watching is not rest. Constant stimulation is not rest. Your brain cannot recover while it is still consuming information. True recovery requires silence, stillness, mental space. But modern humans fear stillness, because stillness forces you to confront yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your anxiety, your loneliness. And many people would rather distract themselves endlessly than sit quietly with their own mind. So they consume more, and the exhaustion deepens. Real rest happens when your nervous system feels safe enough to slow down. That means reducing stimulation, reducing noise, reducing chaos, not adding more. The modern world is fighting for one thing: your attention. Because attention is power. Where your attention goes, your life follows. And giant corporations understand this perfectly. Every app, every platform, every algorithm is competing to capture and keep your focus for as long as possible. Because your attention generates profit. And the longer they keep you distracted, the less control you have over your own mind. This is why so many people now feel disconnected from themselves. Their attention no longer belongs to them. It belongs to algorithms, notifications, endless stimulation. And when your attention is constantly pulled in different directions, your mind never reaches clarity, deep thinking disappears, creativity weakens, purpose fades, and eventually, life starts feeling emotionally numb, not because life lost meaning, but because your brain became too overstimulated to fully experience it. So how do you recover? How do you reclaim your focus, energy, and mental clarity? Not through motivation, not through productivity hacks, but through reducing overload. The first step is simple. Create silence. Even a few minutes every day without stimulation changes the brain. No phone, no music, no scrolling, just silence. At first it will feel uncomfortable. That's normal. Your brain is detoxing from constant stimulation. Second, protect your attention. Stop giving unlimited access to your mind. Not every notification deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your focus. Not every piece of content deserves your attention. Your attention is valuable. Treat it that way. Third, learn deep focus again. Do one thing at a time. Slowly train your brain to stay present, without switching, without escaping. At first this will feel difficult, because your brain has been trained for chaos, but over time, clarity returns. Fourth, reconnect with reality. Go outside, walk, read, write, talk to real people, touch grass, see sunlight. The human brain still needs human experiences, not just digital ones. And finally, stop trying to optimize every second of your life. You are not a machine. You are a human being. You do not need constant productivity to deserve rest. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is slow down. You are not broken. You are overloaded. Your brain was never meant to process this much stimulation every single day. And the exhaustion you feel may not be weakness at all. It may simply be the natural response of a human mind pushed beyond its limits. But now you know. Now you understand what's happening. And awareness changes everything. Because once you recognize the system exhausting your brain, you can finally begin escaping it. Slowly, intentionally, one decision at a time, one moment of silence at a time, one distraction removed at a time, and eventually, your mind begins to heal, your focus returns, your energy returns, your clarity returns, not because the world became quieter, but because you finally learned how to protect your mind from the noise. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to Brain Unlocked for more deep psychological insights into the hidden forces shaping modern human behavior. Because once you unlock your mind, you start seeing the world differently. And once that happens, there's no going back.